This is my 2010 R35 Nissan GTR that I bought over 2 years ago that was crash damaged, and as you can see, it was badly crash damaged. I bought this from a salvage auction with the hope to repair it quite quickly and get it on the road. Luckily, the engine did run.
Oh, yes!
But the offside rear suspension was a complete mess. No hub, no drive shaft, no wheel, no suspension. So the first thing I needed to do was buy all that so I could get the car off the trailer. And once I'd fitted all that, I could get the wheel on and then roll it off the back of the trailer. But once we got it into the workshop, that is where the problems begun, because I needed to try and pull out this damage before we tried to remove this quarter panel. And I managed to do that, but that's where it got a bit tricky, because behind the panel was a lot more damage, and a lot more than I anticipated. And that meant it needed to go on a jig, and I don't have a jig, so the car ended up sitting outside for about a year, because I couldn't find anyone to do the jig work for me. I had people come out and quote, say they'd do it, ended up ghosting me, and it just didn't end up getting done, until I did a garage update video where I made a plea for help. Can anyone out there help me, because I cannot find anyone to put this on a jig? And after that plea, I got a phone call from Rob and Chris at Salvage Rebuilds UK, and they agreed to do the work for me. So a massive thank you to Rob and Chris from Salvage Rebuilds UK. They absolutely smashed it with this, and I dropped the car off to them, and they actually replaced the whole offside rear quarter, like a third of the car. Absolutely amazing what they did. So I'm going to put the link in the description. Go check out our videos of what they did to the GTR. So once I got it back from Rob and Chris, it sat in the yard for another couple of months before eventually it was time to work on it again. But as you can see, it's really not ideal sitting like this. The rear screen hasn't been fitted, which is why there's this rubbish cover over the back of it. And that is because it needs to go to the body shop. Now, it's booked in finally this afternoon, so that's why I'm starting this video now. We're going to take off the covers, and we're going to get loaded up, and we're going to get it taken over to the body shop. They're going to do their bits on it, and then the next clip is going to be done, and we can finalise getting the rear screen in to make it waterproof, and then finalising the rear bits to get it driving. I think there's some issues on the suspension, definitely on the brakes on the offside rear. We've got a side skirt missing this side. We can go for a first road test, believe it or not. Finalise getting the rear end sorted as well. So first of all, let me just get this cover off and expose exactly what we've got. Now, I'm hopeful I've sorted this issue going forward, and I won't have to do stuff like this, because I've contacted... Oh, no. No. I do not want the water falling inside the car. I've contacted in the garage, because they have pop-up outdoor weatherproof storage facilities, which is exactly what I need, because this looks awful and it's not great, let's be honest. I got it mainly for the Lamborghini, but obviously that's now being sold, so it's just to put stuff like this in. We're going to test it out a little bit later on, but yeah, I've got that to also stop all this rubbish. And there we go, you can see perfectly what I mean about the slight, well, I say slight, it looks massive difference in shade there, but I think it's just because the sun's on it, and obviously it's a different panel. I'm sure if I went over like that, it's not as noticeable look, and actually it looks the same, but you can notice it is just a very slightly shade, although it looks more obvious on camera. To the naked eye in real life, it's not as obvious, but obviously it's the reason we're doing it. I want the car to be perfect, because I'm going to put a picture up now, but pre-crash, this car was one of the best conditioned GTRs in the country. I actually spoke to the previous owner, and he said he test drove, I think, 9 or 10 GTRs before buying this one. So this was obviously the best out of 9 or 10 GTRs. So I want it to remain that way after repair too. So let's just drag it out. I'm probably going to take this wheel off and have a look behind there, because I do have a new disc and pads to fit in this offside rear corner. And as we can see, look, I've got EBC pads and discs on the rear, so I did contact EBC, and I got some new rear discs and pads to match this one. Now this is what I'm going to try and look at, because we've got some play in the rear axle, and I think there's a bolt missing somewhere. I do have some bolts. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be able to sort it now because it's been so long, I can't remember. But let's take this wheel off. I'm going to put it all up in the air as well and show you my new subframe because we've got a custom subframe which looks, well, I don't know how it looks. I'm just in it. And here it is for the first time, well, at least on my channel anyway, the underside of the GTR, and we've got our brand new subframe here, which was from Verkeline. Very expensive subframe, but it was required. I did need a new one because their old one was kinked just about here, so it rendered it useless. And you can see, obviously, Rob and Chris have completely put together the rear of the car, so appreciative of that, and it looks great. There are a few things we need to do, not as much as I thought actually. I've got the proper bolt for that. It's an adjustment bolt, so it's got a built-in washer so you can actually adjust the track of it. I've got that bolt. We also need a new drop link here because I'm missing a drop link, and the bracket I've got somewhere, and also the bolts are all loose here. Look, they've just been just nipped in, and that is pretty much it. It's not as much as I thought. There is a handbrake cable I've got to, or have I not got to do that? I don't know now. I know the bolt's missing there, so I might have to put a handbrake cable in. I've got to find out where that looks like an earth cable goes. Need to find out where that goes. But all in all, it's not as bad as I thought it's going to be. There's less to do than I thought, which is good. I don't have time. It's now 4:20, and I've got to get it to the body shop before 5. So I don't actually have time to now put all this rear disc back together. But the whole point of bringing it and putting it on the ramp was just to make sure it was good to go to load. And it is. We're all good. Oh, there's the bolt. There's the bolt that goes in there, which means I need a shock bolt. But yeah, a little bit of a mess. But anyway, I'm going to put it back down on the ground now. I'm going to load it onto the transporter, take it to the body shop, and yeah, for you, it's going to be a couple of seconds. But for me, I guess it's going to be a week, maybe 10, 14 days before the GTR comes back. So, yeah, back on the ground, under the body shop. Now, the body shop need to paint the rear bumper too, so I thought I'd try and just offer it up to the car to see if I can attach it in any way. And I did actually manage to attach it with a couple of bolts and some cable ties, and it is looking good. Look at that. I don't have the bracket that sits here yet, but yeah, it's good. Or the bracket that sits here as well. But it's enough to be able to paint it. Lovely. And once it come back from the body shop, I didn't want to have to store it like I did previously, so I got a proper little car tent from In The Garage, and that's where it's sat for the next couple of months, and that will bring us to current day. And it's time to come out. Don't know how long it's going to take to deflate, to be honest. Let's speed this up. This is meant to be done with 2 hands. 2 hands! So I ended up getting the car in late last night because the jump out was flat, so I had to charge it. Pain in the arse, but luckily I did because it's absolutely hossing it down with rain today. Rain all day and isn't projected to stop for another 12 hours yet as well. So luckily the GTR is kind of dry, but the workshop is just one big sieve. Got a load of interior parts here that we need to stick back in the GTR. It has now been painted, so the paintwork's done. I've got a rear bumper over there, it's always been painted. I'm not going to do a reveal just yet, but you'll be obviously able to see the paintwork. I'm going to wait until we've got everything back together before I do a final reveal. But we need to now put the interior back together, and I've ordered a load of sound deadening because weirdly some GTRs come with sound deadening, some didn't. So my donor rear quarter obviously has no sound deadening, which you can see like my one does. So I've ordered a load. I'm going to re-kit it back out, put sound deadening everywhere that I've removed it from, because I've removed it from an interior and the side there as well, so I want it to match this side. Also need to put the rear screen in, but first of all I'm going to build up this parcel shelf because it's going to be a lot easier to do without a rear screen in place. And then also got the side window to put in there as well. All the interior trims on the boot to put in, get the boot lid on as well. And then once we've done that, I can turn my attention to finishing off the interior and putting all the trims back in, which are just over there. Now I appreciate it's been about 18 months probably, I don't even know, since I stripped the GTR. So I may go back and watch a previous video on how to do it. But once all that's back together, I need to turn my attention to the drivability of the car, which means I need to sort out, there's an anti-roll bar that's missing. I need to put the handbrake cable in, got rear disc pads to fit as well, a couple of bolts I need to put in, and that should stop the rear end clunking. And that means we can finally go for a road test. But first of all, I have a load of engine management lights on, so I'm just going to plug in my OBD11. Now, I do have an engine management light and a gearbox light and a TPMS light on the dash, and I do want to clear those and find out what the problem is. I don't know if there was a problem beforehand. Now, I'm using my OBD11 device, which I've just plugged into the car's OBD port, really small device, and I can connect to it via Bluetooth using my phone. Now I'm going to show you a screenshot of the app now, and I've input the car and it can read 2 control modules on the GTR. I suppose it is a 15-year-old car, so it hasn't got the technology. But we can scan it, and it has found 2 faults, and that is engine and transmission. Now I tried to clear both of those faults. The engine management light is now gone, so that's good, but I do still have a transmission fault for control module performance P0607. That won't clear. I have done some Googling, and a few people just say it's battery terminal. Have you tightened the terminals? I have just checked. My negative one is, it's not tight, but it's not loose, if that makes sense. So I'm not sure if it's going to be that. There is an earth under the car that I've noticed. It's a tiny little earth strap, but I can't find where it goes at all. I'll show you in a bit. So I'm not sure if it's that or not. But for now, I think I'm just going to leave it and take it for a little drive, because obviously I've never driven this car, and we'll revisit this in a little bit. But for now, the engine management light's gone, so that's at least one good thing. But it does have a lot better capability on a VAG product. So I'm going to go plug it into the RS6, which is currently live on Compete for Cars. And there we go, look on the screen, read all 34 control modules on the RS6, and the only one that's got a fault is the TPMS, which I know about. No basic setting, and the right front sensor is faulty, which is why I went basic set, which I know about. I've actually just found one that's really interesting. I'm going to pop the boot. And one of my pet hates is I've never been able to shut the boot with, look, you can never shut the boot with the switch. You can open it, but you can't shut it. I've just pressed the button a couple of times. Now this says I should be able to change it so it shuts as well. So I'm just going to activate that. Done. And now I'm going to press the button again. That's incredible. That has always been a massive pet hate of mine, and I've just activated it, and now it will close on the button as well as the key. It's worth it for that alone for me. So to grab your OBD11 device, just hit the link in my description and use my discount code, which I'm going to put on the screen as well, and that will give you an extra 5% off that already great Black Friday deals as well. So a big thanks to OBD11 for sponsoring today's video. To get that rear parcel shelf on, I needed to connect the speaker that was missing, and also put a load of new sound deadening under to replace the original sound deadening, and then just place the parcel shelf on top, remembering to put the seat belts through the parcel shelf. I need to take my hat off to Rob and Chris, because they've done such a good job on here, on this car, that I genuinely wouldn't know it's been repaired. Like, I know it's been repaired. I know what I'm looking for, and I cannot tell that this has been done. Like, just like look, the back, for example, look, I know it's a bit hard to say because it's up in the air, but there's no different. There's no difference between this side and that side. And I know it's been done, but you just wouldn't know it. Like, I cannot find where they've joined it under here at all. I can't see anything that's obvious. And I'll show you when it's on the ground as well, but they've obviously joined it here somewhere, but genuinely I couldn't tell you. Oh, there. But that's only because it's not been painted. But they've done such a good job that, yeah, I just thought I'd point it out, because they've absolutely smashed it, and yeah, they are way above my pay grade, I'll tell you that. So yeah, again, massive thank you to Rob and Chris. Right, so anti-roll bar. We're missing a drop link here. I do have, and I've just painted it. I bought a new one because it had another link to it when it just made more sense, because this one wasn't rusty. but I have just coated it in, what's it called, rust treatment, and I've just painted it gloss black, so that will be good and that will be going on. However, I have noticed I'm missing a bracket here, which is for the drop link, as you can see on this side. Look, so it looks like I won't be fitting the anti-roll bar. I might just take this one off and just leave it off, because otherwise it's just going to be rattling around. So as I said, yeah, we'll change that, do that up, do all these bolts up, rear disc and pads. Subframe looks beautiful. The car then should be ready for a road test, which is mad. The first road test of the car since I've owned it. Pretty sure I've had it 2 years. So while the disc isn't here and I've got a little bit more room, I'm going to change the suspension bolts. I think I'm going to do the bolts and then build up the disc and pads. Now, when I was manoeuvring this around the yard, it did sound awful, but I mean, you can see why. Like, all the bolts are loose, so it would make it sound a lot worse than it is. And here I'm just going around all the suspension bolts, just making sure they're tight and they've got the correct bolts in them. And then cleaning up my rear shoes. We have a beautiful disc. And if you can see that, I'll show you the inside of it, look. So you can see the inside is like a mini drum. So that should just fit. There we go, cool. Right. And here I'm just using a screwdriver to adjust the parking brake to make sure it grips well on the inside drum. Right, so I've got my blue stuff pads. And that's to match the pads that are already on the car, plus the ones that are on the front. Oh, hello, where are we gone? Where have we gone? Gone too far. Come back! But anyway, yeah, if you need any brakes, guys, I'm going to leave the link to EBC in my description. Obviously, their discs look awesome, a great upgrade, and obviously they do loads of different variants of pads as well, depending on your use. So it's either road, fast road, track, and they're distinctive by the different colours. So yeah, I'll stick a link into EBC, made in the UK as well, so spot on. Right, I've ordered a rear brake fitting kit for a GTR, but for now, I'm just going to put a cable tie through here just to stop the pads from falling out, which is a great bodge. There we go. Fitting kit should be here tomorrow, hopefully, so. Although, I'm pretty sure this is a great permanent fix. Perfect, that ain't going anywhere. And then I replaced the pads and discs the other side as well to obviously match. Really annoying because they're brand new pads and discs as well, but you got to replace them in pairs. Well, this is going to be interesting. I don't want to damage anything. But that may be easier said than done. Right. Yes. So the rear screen and the side windows are now in. You would have noticed my camera didn't actually record it because it's stupid. I left them to it while I went and got some lunch, and the battery died on the camera pretty much straight away. So unfortunately you didn't see the time lapse of them fitting the screens, but they are now done. And again, just look at the perfect fitment. Look at that. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Boot line as well. And then you see this side as well. Absolutely perfect. So, so happy with how this has all gone. Look at that. I have a load of parts. So here's my old bumper. Luckily it wasn't actually that badly damaged. So I do still have all the bolts, all the wiring for the rear lights, because I don't actually have those on the new ones I bought. Same again with this side. I've got rear camera wiring. This bumper had sensors retrofitted, which I'm not going to put back in because I don't think it looks a bit naff. I'd prefer a clean look because yeah, you can just see it just looks a bit naff. So I prefer the clean look of not having the sensors. We have a camera anyway, so we don't need it. My new rear splitter is slightly different to this one. The grill's different. Excuse the mess. So I'm not, and also there's some weird fins on the edge, whereas this one doesn't have fins. Let's see. So hopefully that will still fit. What else we got? And then we've just got, yeah, a few more trims, roof trims, carpet for the boots, for the boot liner, and then the rear trims. Now I can't fit the bumper properly because I'm missing this bracket that goes here, which clips the bumper in, the bracket down here, which clips the canister on there, and a few other, there's another bracket across the top here that I'm missing. So I'm missing that bracket and this bracket here. I do have them because I've gone back and watched the videos and they weren't damaged. So I need to find them. As I say, it's been a couple of years. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to go out for a little drive up and down the drive as is. And we're going to save getting the bumper and everything and the rear lights and it for the next video, because the next video is going to be the last video on the GTR, and I want there to be some sort of suspense so you can see the finished project basically. And that's going to be a couple of weeks away because I need to get the rear splitter, the new rear splitter painted because it's a bit scuffy. I also need to paint the new side skirts and the other side skirt because it's a little bit damaged. And obviously that's going to take a week or so. So I think we are getting there. I just need to find some trims, and the ones I can't find, I'll have to order.
Hell. I cannot believe, I keep saying it, 2 years into ownership, first road test. I can't wait for this thing to get a proper clean because it must have, well it does have a very thick layer of dust. But good news is as well, when I was reversing out the workshop, my differential light went off, so all I've actually now got is a tyre pressure warning and an airbag light, and the airbag, I don't know if it's to do with the seat belts or not. The airbags have been unplugged, so I don't know. I would put my seat belt on, but I can't. Oh, this is weird. Oh. It's still... I'm obviously not going to go mad because my rear, offside rear brake pads are held in with cable ties. Let's go for a drive. Second. Yes! It's hard to tell, but there's obviously a lot, the stone drive has just been done, so there's loads of loose gravel. That didn't sound great. old Japanese, I say old, it is an old Japanese car now, it's 15 years old. I'm guessing these gearboxes need to warm up and stuff like that. Oh, that sounds awful. Because I don't have any wheel arch liners, the stones I can just hear hitting the... But I'm guessing these gearboxes need to warm up to work better, because it just went up first, second, third there really smoothly. Not like it did initially. Oh yeah, yes. Let's just go down here. Can I do manual? Do manual. Flapping panels work? Oh, they work, yeah. Oh, hello. Just going to go in between the containers here because I want to get some sound resonating off. Yeah, no, this is good. No, it's working well.
And there we go, the first little road test, well I wouldn't say road test, first little drive complete, and it got better and better as the gearbox seemed to warm up. It was a little bit clunky to start with, but then again, I don't know if that's just what old Japanese cars are like, but no, really happy with it. And now it's out in the open, we can see how good the paint job is as well. So this whole quarter's been painted, the whole roof's been painted, this door's been painted, and the rear bumper's been painted as well, but obviously we're not going to see that until the next video when it's all fully back together. But as I was saying, just appreciate how good it is behind the, like you wouldn't know that it's been repaired. It's just such a good job. So obviously I am really happy with the car. It's taken 2 years, but we are now at a point where the end is very close. So I'm going to go away. I'm going to try and find all these brackets that I've lost. And if I can't find them, I'm going to order a load of parts. I need a wheel arch liner, side skirt, a few rear bumper parts, a few under tray trims, and then the side skirts need painting and a few other bits. So although I said the next video will be the last video, I want it to be a really good final video on the GTR. So it's probably going to be involve me taking it maybe to Litchfield for them to put on the dyno or check it over, because it does have a Litchfield stage 1 tune on it, so it should be 600 horsepower with some Y pipe, I believe. Obviously get it MOT'd, fully back together, and what else can we do? There's something else I'm sure there's something else I can do as well. I might get some wheel spaces on it as well, because these wheels are really far in the arch, and I think that'll just fill it out and make it look a little bit more aggressive as well. So that is going to be it for today's video, guys. As I said, it's probably going to be early next year, being realistic, because December's going to be really busy. But that's going to be perfect in time for driving it next year when the weather gets a bit nicer, because I don't want to, I've had this so long, I ain't going to raffle it. Not yet anyway. I want to drive it a little bit first. So as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. Massive thanks to Rob and Chris at Salvage Rebuilds UK for doing this rear quarter. Obviously I would not be in this position without them, so a massive thank you to them. Go subscribe to them and check them out if you don't already know them. And also thanks to EBC Brakes, OBD11 for sponsoring today's video as well. And don't forget, guys, go grab your tickets on the RS6, compete for cars. I'll put the link in the description. There's around about a week left. And you guys for watching and supporting the journey, and thank you for your patience on the GTR. So as always, guys, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one, which is going to be the Macan engine rebuild.